Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar today. And today we'll be talking about the college application season, the most recent application cycle. So to help everyone understand what kind of competition we're facing and what we should be doing. A bit about me. My name is Ben. I am currently the Center Director for Young Scholars. I have 12 years of college counseling experience. I've worked with students specifically in terms of their college planning since they're middle school and high school, and also working with them on their college essay. So let's continue. With the blue line is of the schools with more that are more selective, meaning they're harder to get into, and the red line is for the schools that are less selective. As we can see, the more selective schools, a lot of them are going test optional, which means that do not always require test scores. Now, next, we're going to take a look at the score reporting breakdown, meaning how many students are actually reporting their SAT or ACT scores on the Common App. There is the underrepresented minority group, and also the first generation college applicants, meaning being the first one applying to college out of the family. The darker blue line shows there's a decline for the first generation college applicants who will be submitting their SAT score in the past 2 years. And also there's a decline for those who are not first generation. We see a similar trend for underrepresented minority groups as well. So fewer students in the past 2 years are reporting their SAT or ACT standardized test scores. This figure tells us a little about the international applicants. Despite COVID, there actually has been more international applicants in the past 3 years, meaning if your child is considered international applicant, the competition is actually going up as well, especially for those who are most represented, China, India, Canada, South Korea, Nigeria. And this one actually tells us about there is a majority, as we can see, the red line shows that there's a majority of the students who are applying on the Common App are applying to highly selective schools, meaning schools with lower than 50% admission rate. And that number has, applicant amount has risen the most in the past. So with the removal of SAT or ACT tests for a lot of schools, more applicants are applying to the highly selective schools because now that they only have to show their GPA and AP scores. Here are some real statistics that we can look at. This is from this just past admission cycle. I've made the regular decision acceptance rate and early acceptance rate in bold. As you can see, for most schools, for Brown, it's almost 4 times as high if you applied early, right? So that is why for most of our seniors, we start in June with their college application, so that most of the competitive schools that they're applying to can be done early before the deadline of November. Here are some other statistics about some of the other schools in the nation that a lot of students are applying to. As we can see, there's only one exception here, which is the Santa Clara University in Northern California. In Santa Clara, their regular decision admit rate is actually higher than their early. But for the rest of the schools, mostly it's applying early is your best chance. From what we've seen so far, there's one conclusion that we come to is that with colleges going test optional, more academically qualified students will be applying to college, right? And it'll make it much more challenging for everybody to get in to the top schools across the nation. And also, due to COVID, most applicants are actually applying to more schools than previous years of students would. Here are some of the services that we provide at YSI. We do provide one-on-one support for college counseling. We have enrichment classes for reading, writing, and vocab development for younger students. In the summer, we provide those enrichment courses as well, and internship and volunteer opportunities. For college counseling, we help students through their course selection, setting the test plans for SAT or ACT if you plan on taking them, and also plan their extracurricular activities and volunteer services based on their college goals and academic interest. That's it for today. Thank you for coming, everyone.